Google's Veo 3 versus Kling 2.0. Is it even a fair contest? Hey, I'm Rosh, the co-host of the Creative AI Show, and now that Google has released Veo 3, is it fair to compare it to any of the other platforms? Well, we're going to do that. We're going to compare to Kling. Kling has been holding the reins of dominance for quite a while now, and well, let's see what happens. So we're going to go through some history of the prompts that I've been using to test these platforms, because having some sort of a standard to work off of, a basic prompt, helps you to compare and see how each of these AI generators have progressed. And the first one that I used is Husky running through a daisy field, and that was a long time ago. But let's see how well Kling does first. This is Kling 2.0, and you know, it's still kind of illustrative, but the motion is good. And I was pretty impressed, other than I would have liked a little more realism to this. Now let's take a look and see what Veo 3 did with the same prompt. Here we go. Good motion, and what do you notice? Sound. And that's right, sound. That was automatically added to the scene. Now, the movement sounds more like a light horse, to be quite honest. So we'll test sound. And yes, you can add sound to Kling, AI sound to your video. So we will test that too along the way. But one area that I was really interested to see how well it worked was with food, because food has been a tough one for all of the platforms. During one of our tests, we used this very long prompt, and I believe Kling was the winner. And so let's take a look at what they did. This is basically a chef with a steak, and honestly, it was not, it was better than some, but as you can see, there are a lot of issues here. Here's another version. And another version. That was pretty good. Not too bad. The cut was good. I was pretty happy. I'm not sure where those little elements came from, but hey, it was not bad. And so we were pretty impressed at the time. Now we give this prompt to Veo 3. Wow. And look at that. And yes, there are certainly some issues. Like, that was one of the best versions of somebody eating something that I've seen in a while, but it's good cut. You can even hear the knife hitting the board. We're not sure where the butter salt thing came from, but it's actually a story. And it's the same prompt. Let's do it without me talking. Pretty good. Eating has been a challenge for a number of the AIs, and we recently did a comparison where we had a model wearing hockey gloves eating an ice cream cone, and I want to show you some of the other results and then what Veo 3 came up with. And here's Pika, and yeah, having trouble eating ice cream, and the hockey glove I'm not so sure about, but the prompt was pretty good at the time in terms of adherence, but again, having so much trouble eating. And I'll show you what Veo 2 did. And here's Veo 2, and yes, it's a little wrong. So let's see what Kling did, and then I'll show you Veo 3. So here's Kling, and this is with 1.6. And honestly, it was pretty good. I don't think Kling 2.0 was out at the time. And it was one of the better versions of any of the AIs, although it's not great, but it's certainly much better than the other AIs were doing at the time. But this is what Veo 2 looks like now. I said Veo 2, I meant Veo 3. And it's a blonde girl wearing a blue dress, eating ice cream with hockey gloves, and thinks the ice cream is great.
That is so good.
Now, obviously, crunching into the ice cream was not a good
That is so good.
angle, but all the rest of it, wow, pretty amazing.
That is so good.
Cutting a tomato is not been an easy task for many of the AIs, and as you can see, there's a lot of unnatural, non-physics things going on here. And so I wanted to test this with image to video, and we did that in Kling 1.6. Let's just do a straight up cut a tomato video with 2.0 and then compare it to how well Veo 3 did with cutting a tomato. And we'll do text to video here. And this is the same prompt I'll use with Veo 3. While the text to video is rendering, I wanted to show you what I did with that other video by adding sound with Kling. And it's not natural at all. Now, the thing is, they give you 4 different sounds. So let's try the other ones. That's not even relevant. Dripping. Nope. The sound isn't even in sync. So, yes, you can create sounds with and even lip sync with Kling, but the level of quality isn't there yet. So we're in Kling 1.6 and we have a Kling 2.0 coming up, but this is where we are with the chef cutting a tomato and is describing the salad he's making. But obviously, the AI sounds I don't think are going to do it. But let's see what we get with Kling 1.6. Yep, and as you can see, we have a lot of issues, a lot of just fundamental issues. And again, this is Kling 1.6, not 2.0, but I did want to make this comparison because 1.6 still does a number of things very well. While we're waiting for the 2.0 to render, let's click on AI sound to see what happens and how well Kling adds sound to this video, despite the fact that it's not a very good tomato cutting video. And here it is. Let's try a different one. Remember, they give us 4 options.
I stop receipt here. I suddenly court.
Okay, so he's trying to talk. No, maybe. So again, as you can tell, the sound is helpful maybe in some scenes where it's generic, but when you want specifics and physics together, not happening with Kling 1.6. But again, we got to check out 2.0. Look at this. Here's Kling 2.0. And I'm not sure he should be holding it and cutting. And again, we still have physics problems, but he is discussing making his salad. And that's obviously how the AI interpreted it. But we wanted a close-up of the tomato and the person in the background talking, which obviously doesn't work as well with Kling because it doesn't have the audio feature. Let's add audio and see what happens. Here we go. No. Let's try this one. No. We're not getting very far. Oh, we got some sound, voice. I'm not quite sure what it's saying. I think we've given Kling the opportunity to prove itself. Now I'll show you Veo 3, what it produced, as well as some other videos that I created that are rather interesting.
We're going to slice our tomato.
Look at that.
Nice and thin.
Exactly what I asked for
We're going to slice our
And-
tomato
Good sound,
nice and thin.
quality, and the chef talking in the background.
We're going to slice our tomato
And you understand what he's saying.
nice and thin.
I mean, it's not even close. Not even close. Now, there are some things that I think that Kling got close to in terms of comparability. For example, we had a long futuristic comparison with a cyberpunk future, and 2.0 did a really good job. And let me show you what we got with Veo 3. It's good, but I actually think Kling won the day, even though we do have some sound here. I think that Kling did a better job in this situation. What do you think? Everyone seemed to have trouble with this. Kling did a pretty good job, and I don't think Veo 3 did a great job with this one either. This is a different prompt, but similar to the chef cutting the steak, and it was one of my first tests to see how the audio and the verbalization went. And here we go.
The cut of meat that we get in here at the restaurant is just wonderful.
And that is
cut of
exactly
meat
what I asked for.
that we-
Chef cutting steak while describing how wonderful the steak is at his restaurant. Listen again.
Get in here at the restaurant is just wonderful.
This is the first one that I prompted after the Husky test. Cyberpunk people having conversation on steampunk airship with an old Chinese landscape. I think that was supposed to be at sunset, but anyway, here we go.
I think we're going to secretly need to go back.
No, we're going to make it.
I'm not sure what she said, but wow.
I think we're going to secretly need to go back.
No, we're going to make it.
Prompt adherence was pretty darn good. Look
I
at the
think we're going to secretly
background.
need to go back.
No, we're going to make it.
The bottom line is that Google's Veo 3 has set the new standard, and no, Kling couldn't even come close ultimately. There are a couple in which it was competitive, and Kling is certainly an excellent platform, and Veo 3 is really expensive. So as far as expense goes, you may want to stick with Kling. However, if you are looking for the best, at least publicly available platform for a full clip with sound and background noise and prompt adherence, well, Veo 3 is now the best there is out there available. And I can only imagine what the other platforms are about to give us in the near future. If you want to hear more about AI for the creative, definitely check into the Creative AI Show every Monday on this YouTube channel and, of course, your favorite podcast location. I'll see you in the next video.